So this plus 22 Nexus point is actually one of the cleanest high key runs that I've ever done. I wouldn't have expected it to be Nexus point, honestly, but we timed this key in only 2 tries. I've been here twice on a plus 22 and I timed it on the second run. We would have timed it on the first run, but we were off by 10 seconds on the last boss. We could have killed him, but we wiped, so we could just try again, you know? We didn't want to change the key. So this is the second try, and this is also the try that worked, right? Before we begin, obviously, here's the here are the talents. Cater this talent tree mainly towards the left wing, because the left wing is arguably the most dangerous one with the circles, with the bombs and stuff. I just get as many snare removals as possible. So jet stream, spirit walk, and the thunderous pause, which also removes a circle when you go into spirit wolf form. Really great to have, really honestly mandatory for this key. Let's just jump straight into the key, and as usual I use Ascendance right before the beginning of the key, so I get 10 stacks of my Maelstrom weapon, just a nice little boost on my damage. I'm not quite sure if I use it on this run. I think I let it fade out, or run out, right? But usually 30 seconds is plenty enough to at least throw out 1 chain lightning. And if you get a reset, that's great. If you get doom winds, that's honestly kind of unlucky. But I mean, it is what it is. We just run here. We do the big bloodlust pull that is pretty normal in high keys at this point. I get hit by one of the circles on my teammates, but they get removed, and I put down a stun totem, use my usual rotation. As you can see, I am not going for the Primordial Storm build because I have kind of grown fond of this build. I like the prio target damage, or the prio damage that you get with this build, making it way easier to kill the seer, for example, or the main focus targets in most pulls, right? There's a lot of mobs that are dangerous and need to die quickly, and this build just helps out a little bit. The other build, definitely not bad by any means, but I just like the prio damage that I have. And to circumvent the missing haste that I now have without the Primordial Storm proc or the Sundering proc, I go for the haste. The Blood Knight's potion, or the flask, gives me a little bit of haste that I'm now missing. Makes it feel a little bit better, but this build usually focuses more on haste anyway, so my gear isn't as optimal as it should be for this build, but it is fine nonetheless. As you can see, damage is fine. I'm kind of behind a little bit because I messed up my rotation, but at the end of the day, the overall damage should be pretty equal with the rest of the team. As I said, this team is insane. This team was very strong. Probably one of the strongest teams that I've seen in Mythic Plus in a long time. They knew what they were doing. They knew their limits. They knew their damage windows. They did every pull almost perfectly. And this is also why I didn't need 15 tries to time a Nexus Point 22. My 21 run took me, I think, about 20 tries, I would say. So this is much better. Obviously, always focus the mana batteries. If they go off, you will most likely die. Especially if you're in combat. If you're in combat, you will most likely die. If one of them goes off out of combat, you might be able to heal and live until the debuff fades, but always focus the bombs. Just if a bomb drops from the Flux Engineers, always make sure to kill it before it goes off, otherwise it could end very drastically. Here I focus the Seer, remove every circle that I have with either Spirit Wolf, Jet Stream, so the Windrush Totem, or Spirit Walk. Here we in-capped the Adept, just so we can have some funnel on the boss. It's not much, the Adept doesn't really have a lot of health, but it's a little bit nonetheless. The other two DPS specs that we have profit off of funnel quite a bit. I don't really care if I'm single target or AoE, honestly. I have the same damage profile, the same rotation pretty much, and nothing really changes for me. But I mean, it's nice to have if others profit off of it, right? Here, I don't remove the lasers yet, because I know that there will be one more, and the boss will cast a detonation spell. If I remove the left ones, we might have gotten stuck between two if we were unlucky, which is why I waited to walk into the lasers. Just always make sure that you have one big escape plan or like enough space when the knockback happens. Otherwise, it will just wipe. As you might know, might have happened to you guys already a lot of times, because it happened to me a lot of times. Here, I don't really care, because it's the beginning of the like second phase, I guess, after the detonation. I just wait and see what the next lasers look like, and then I detonate one of them to open up some space. Always just, if you can, if you have a defensive up, just wait until the next set of lasers spawn and see how the room looks like, and just open up space according to it. Otherwise, like, you might mess up some stuff and take away a lot of room for you to play with. And if that happens, it's just game over, right? This boss is all about preserving as much space as possible. Here, I almost got hit by the laser. Just barely made it through. I don't know why it took me this long, but we managed to squeeze through. Here, the DK waited, but the laser took damage already, so that's why we couldn't remove the second laser. It's kind of weird. The buff deals damage to the lasers, I think. And since the DK already dealt damage to that one laser before the other one spawned, we couldn't remove both of them. So we were stuck in this little corner right here, but we fortunately had enough space back here. So we squeeze in here, wait for the next reflux charge, and then we open up the gates and get back to the open space again. Here, I should have probably greeted for the boss to die. I mean, there was no way the detonation would go off before the boss dies. I was just scared, ran away, did it safe, but rest of the team cleared it. As you can see, my damage wasn't the greatest. I messed up quite a bit here. And this is also not my strongest fight, right? This is pretty melee unfriendly, I would say, because you have to move around a lot. You have to dodge small circles, the big circles, the explosion, the lasers. Ranged don't really have to deal with a lot of that. Like, they don't have to stand inside the boss at all times. It's just quite a bit easier, but it's no excuse. I just messed up quite a bit here. I give the tank a Windrush Totem because I will not need the Jetstream proc anymore here. There's nothing that I can remove here. So he pulls faster. I use Puzzle Box and go into my rotation. I should have used Voltaic Blaze here before going into Ascendance. I messed up, but it's okay. We still deal quite a bit of damage. DK goes absolutely crazy. As I said, insanely solid team. I get hit by the Entropic Leech. I have my defensive up. I heal up with... or I get healed up by the Monk. I should dispel here, yeah, which I do. It's a little bit late. It was a little bit late, but I usually like don't dispel a lot here unless I can see that someone is struggling, which the tank did right there, because this buff doesn't really do a lot usually. Oh, this time we're pulling this guy. Okay. Oh, we're doing another route. Okay. What do I do? What did I do? Yeah, you will always have to be careful to dodge the circles, even though the indicator of the like mini boss guy is gone. The orbs still fly around, so, and they're pretty slow. So always keep them like on track. Just know where they are and like, make sure to not run into them. Here I almost died because I like didn't see the indicator soon enough and just barely dodged the circle. If this was a seed, I would have gotten hit by that circle because, well, the like orb, because hitboxes are way different in that boss. Here, always make sure to stay away from the tank, by the way. The Dread Flail has the frontal, which chunks you and will probably one-shot you at this point in a 22. So never stand where the tank is standing. Always stand behind the mobs or to the side of the mobs. Otherwise, you will just like, explode, right? Once the Dread Flail casts the little frontal thingy. Same thing goes for the Dread Flails during the boss. That's the same mob. They also have a frontal. The tank just has to face them away during the damage amp phase. Otherwise, your entire team will blow up. Most of the tanks know by now. But I've seen a few tanks that like still aim the Dread Flails into the team. Kill this bitch ass. Alrighty. These shields the Hollow Souls get are not dispellable or purgeable, sorry. You cannot purge them, you need to stun them. So whenever you see these shields go up, try to capacitor totem, but usually someone else will like stun the ads before you because they have instant stuns, you don't. And usually they just react faster, right? But if everyone else has cooldowns on their CC, like in cap raw, leg sweep, whatever they have, if that all is on cooldown, put down your capacitor totem and remove the shields. Otherwise it will just prolong the fights for no reason at all and like take a huge chunk off of your timer. Just always make sure to remove the shields as much as you can. Purges, as I said, don't work, which is also why I don't take purge here. Now this boss fight is pretty simple. When you get big circle, you fight the boss until like 1 second before it explodes, and then you run out real quick. You don't usually need to press the defensive with when the dot is taking you down, because it doesn't do that much damage. And once the ads spawn, you focus one of the nullifiers to kick them at all times. Make sure to not stand in front of the tank because of the Dread Flail. Don't use your cooldowns here yet. Use it when the Lothraxian beam thingy goes off. So right about now, you Bloodlust, you Ascend, you use your Combat Flask, and then you go ham on that boss. And do your optimal rotation, blast it down as much as you can. In a +22, this will probably be a 2-phase fight, so you will not be able to 1-phase it, but in lower keys it should be possible to 1-phase it at this point with the gear you have. I get insane amounts of Doom with procs as well, and this fight like goes down real quick. As you can see, I am going crazy on the damage meters. This fight is really good for Enhancement Shaman. I said it multiple times on stream, but this fight is really good for Enhancement Shaman. There's a lot of cleave, there's a lot of like damage amps, really good cooldown windows, so here, the Dread Flail almost fucks us up, but gets kicked away. You can also stun these ads, by the way. You can stun them, root them. Those are not like mini-boss coded, so you can stun them when both of them are casting and no one has a kick. When the Dread Flail is attacking, when the Dread Flail is spinning, you can CC them and like keep them away from you. I could have used my entangling roots to keep the Dread Flail away. I just didn't think of it. But usually it breaks anyway with my lightnings like jumping around all over the spot. Here, I just make sure to focus on the boss, ignore the ads most of the time. Like I just kick the nullifier and that's about it. I still stay away from the tank. As you can see, the DK died because he stood in front of the tank or with the tank. And I go into the damage amp area and kill the boss, finish it off. Always, by the way, always press your defensive in that whenever you are in that golden light, because you will take ticking damage and it does hurt a lot. So always when inside, press your defensive just to make sure you don't die. If you don't have a defensive, Earth Elemental and the health pot will do a lot. Hello, Ancient One. Bless me with your wisdom. What do you need wisdom for, young one? Okay, so these bats. Now, these bats have a holy echo. You might have seen the big circle whenever they die, and they don't deal damage to you, which I thought for the longest time. They don't deal damage to you, but they heal every mob that is inside that circle. This is a magic ability, so you can dispel it. I just learned that this. I just learned that before this run, so the run before this run, I figured it out, and my team told me to take Purge. This is the only reason why you take Purge in this key. It is not necessary in lower keys, but if you want to save time as much as you can, always take Purge just for these flare bats. Purge all of them before they die. They don't reapply the buff, so you're good to go by just purging it once and you're set. But if they go off on like the lingering image, for example, and you don't have a GM helping you out, you will basically heal this guy up to like half of his health again, and just takes off a chunk of your timer, right? So purge them so the circle doesn't spawn when they die, and the mobs don't get healed when they are inside that circle. And if that happens, the cat is also cooked, literally. Here, I use my CDs. It is quite awkward. Honestly, I'm still not quite sure if this is the right call. But I was thinking that if I use it now, I will have it at the beginning of the boss fight. And then I will have it when Bloodlust is up again during the boss fight. I think that was the only window I could have really used it to like have it back up when the boss like drops down. I'm not quite sure. I'm dying here because I don't have anything. By the way, I had 2 stacks of like lingering thingy, got hit by the lingering images. And I didn't have my astral shift up. I didn't have anything up, not even my health pot, I believe. So that was one of like unpreventable deaths that I had. But it's fine. We got a lot of time this time. Last time we had like 4 to 5 deaths and we were shot by 10 seconds, as I said. So having 2 deaths is quite literally way easier. So this guy dies. Boss spawns. I still have 50 seconds on Ascendance. So my plan didn't quite work. I should have probably used it earlier. Or not at all, probably. So I could use it right here on the fight. And when Bloodlust is up in 3 minutes. Now, this fight is honestly one of the easier fights in this entire dungeon. There's no complexity to it. If you get hit by the circle, you get a dot on you. Just heal yourself with Healing Surge. You should be fine. when the boss starts casting like the intermission thingy, like right here, you can throw a snowball at the guy like the monk is doing right here. He will throw like this big ass snowball and it will drop on the correct images or the correct Lothrexian's position. That way you will find them way quicker and just save a lot of time. You won't have the risk of kicking the wrong target, and you will just always know where he stands, right? Sometimes it gets a little confusing because the snowball just flies into like a bunch of fake images, and the real one is still there, but you don't quite know which one it is, so you have to take a closer look. But you will figure out the general area of where the real one is standing. Now you can also press your defensives when you get hit by the circle, because there's literally nothing else you would need your defensives on. Just press your defensives, but you don't have to. It's just a thing to save your healers a little bit of time. As you can see, the snowball is flying once again. I didn't see it here that he threw it, so I was looking around finding the real one. But as you can see, the snowball flew right to the real one, and they figured it out. And this is just a rinse and repeat, honestly. Nothing else is going to happen. We still miss 7 count, about 1%. We will get that when Bloodlust is up, right? We will wait for this guy to do another intermission phase, because if we Bloodlust now, it would like get interrupted by the intermission phase. So we just wait until the intermission phase is over, until we find him, and then we're gonna pull him right into the ads that are right behind me right now. Get that 7 count while we are in Bloodlust, and just kill 2 birds with 1 stone, right? Snowball, once again, there it is. I kick it, and then I use my puzzle box. I use Bloodlust, my Ascendance, and then I go full ham. Still focused on the boss. The ads are not really important. The ads will die during the fight anyway, so with the cleave happening, they will just pop eventually, right? They have way less health than the tank, obviously. So keep focusing down the boss. Kick the light rod guy, the little elemental caster guy, whenever you can, because if that cast goes through, it is a quite heavy ticking dot ability. So always kick it, and then honestly just kill the boss. There's nothing much to it anymore. This is basically the entire dungeon. As you can see, it looked pretty easy, but this dungeon is anything but easy. This only looked easy because the team was really good. Once again, didn't see it snowball. I was quite blind here because I got nervous at eventually towards the end of the run, because I couldn't believe it that I was timing a Nexus-Point 22 on my 2nd try, which sounds crazy, I know, but it happened. And there you go. 2 minutes to spare. A lot of time left in a 22. This is insane. This is such a good run. Now, if you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys want to see more commentary runs, if you guys want to see more of my stuff and Enhancement Shaman guides for Season 2, subscribe to the channel, like this video, just so I know that you guys liked it. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.